So good afternoon from Alton Towers, where I'm here today to check out all of the Duel construction updates. If you didn't know, Duel shut on the 6th of September in time for a huge revamp from Alton Towers and Merlin Magic Making. It's now the 10th of September, so we're going to see if there's any updates around the plaza of Duel. It's quite hard to get some updates from Duel because it is inside a huge show building. A bit of history for the ride: it opened as the Haunted House. It was essentially a ghost train, a bit like the likes of the ghost train over at Blackpool Pleasure Beach. Then in 2003 it was converted to Duel, the Haunted House Strikes Back, where laser guns were added to the ride and you can shoot the targets and see what score you get, and you converse your friends and family. And now it's pretty much nothing. So in this video I'm going to show all of the updates over from Duel in the Haunted Hollow area and discuss what I think could be happening to the ride in the future. So the first update from Duel is that all around the area these property repossessed signs have been erected. The signs all say the same thing, stating property repossessed, strictly no unwanted visitors due to unnatural displays in the area. Now, could this be some sort of cryptic message from Alton Towers, hinting at the next theme for whatever happens to Duel? Could there be some sort of discovery that the park find and the ride will be themed to some sort of unearthed creature, similar to the likes of Nemesis? However, this could be Alton Towers just sprucing up a "It's closed" sign, which I really think the park needs. It's really nice having a themed closure sign. However, guests on park didn't know whether Duel was open or closed, or what was happening as the Duel shop was actually open for business. So some sort of "This ride is currently closed" sign would be good just for general guests. Now, heading over to the main entrance of this dark ride, the door has actually been blocked off by wooden planks going all along the door with a property repossessed sign, as we discussed earlier. Once again, it's nice to see some thought has gone into this, rather than the park just putting up a general close message. However, it is getting the public a little bit confused on what's happening to this ride. Going back now, when the ride was open and operating, there was essentially this chalkboard in the queue line saying 6th of the 9th, the Duel is over. This is my house. Now, we know that Duel did indeed shut on the 6th of the 9th, and that wording that the park have used is very interesting. Now, a bit of history to Duel. It opened in 1992 as the Haunted House and was the largest ghost train ride in Europe. The attraction was redesigned with interactive laser guns in 2003, and this was where, for many, Duel's downfall really began. By adding the laser guns interactive onto it, it was no longer as scary as it was, because it was now essentially a family attraction. So going back to the message Alton Towers put in the queue line, could this mean that the Haunted House is coming back to its former glory without the interactive guns? Of course, Duel did open back in 1992, and technology has come so far since then, so could the park be bringing it up to date, as the ride was looking old and tired, especially that exit tunnel, and some of the scenes needed a huge revamp. For many people, if Duel was to return to the Haunted House, that would be great news, as it brings back so many memories from that ride. However, some people say that the park should do a whole new theme instead of going back to the older ones. In terms of any major updates from the outside of Duel, there's nothing really to report on, because to be honest, it all looks pretty much the same. We do have to remember that if this is still going to be a haunted dark ride, then the outside won't really need much work done, as at the end of the day, the facade now looks really good, and it brings back so many memories of Duel, and for many people, the Haunted House. In terms of people who are involved in this project, we believe John Wardley will be somewhat involved, along with another John, who's done projects such as Gangster Granny, Jumanji the Ride in Gardaland over in Italy, among many more. Both of these attractions are heavily screen based, so hopefully Duel doesn't turn into a ghost train that consists more of projections rather than physical theming. So when is this project going to be finished? Well, no date has been confirmed, but I imagine it would be the 2023 season. The park's got 6 months to get Duel ready and finished, and that's a lot of time, and of course next season there'll be no Nemesis, so Duel is really a key ride to get up and running to increase capacity at the park. So the Duel area seems very quiet compared to what it'd usually be, with a queue out here sometimes, and even the queue in there, in that extended queue line area. But yeah, look at all this signage here. I guess that will all be ripped off soon. And yeah, Duel, the Haunted House Strikes Back. That's a logo to remember. It won't be here anymore. It's going to be really interesting to see what the park do with this. And yeah, also here the height board. Riders must be 0.9 meters, riders must be 1.1 meters, yeah. And look at the actual height measurement ruler has actually all been ripped off there. But yeah, it's crazy to think that the ride Duel, it has so many special places and many memories in people that visited Alton Towers. And now it's just closed and boarded up, as we're going to see in the next few minutes as I approach the doorway to Duel, where you would head in really into this queue line section here, and where you'd enter the ride in the back of the warehouse. So there we go, there's all the latest Duel updates. Not really much to cover, to be honest, but I thought I'd make this video just to let you know, and if you didn't know, Duel was being reimagined. Hopefully ready for next season. If you did enjoy the video, do consider subscribing, as I make theme park content every week for you to enjoy. And with all that said, I'll see you in the next video. Bye now.
If you dare, the new haunted house ride at Alton Towers.
You remember as a child that strange old house you used to pass on the way home from school? It stood back from the road, half derelict, almost hidden by the trees. The other kids said it was haunted, but of course you knew better. Haunted houses don't exist, do they? Do they? Nobody had lived in the house for years, but they said on a dark night, strange lights had been seen moving about inside, and ghastly screams had been heard when the moon was full. But that was just nonsense, wasn't it? But when someone dared you to take a look inside, you were rather quick to find an excuse not to. And now you're a bit older. If someone challenged you again, would you dare to explore the haunted house? Alton Towers challenges you. In 1992, Alton Towers' latest and most spectacular attraction dares you to enter its portals. The fiendishly weird occupants of the haunted house are just dying to meet you and your family. You needn't be frightened. All they want to do is make your visit a happy and relaxing one. The only problem is that their appearance is enough to scare anybody witless. So please be polite and don't show any fright. Your ghost hosts mean you no harm. They are at your service, dear guests, and they guarantee your visit will be a scream from beginning to end. The preparations for your visit are nearly complete. The supernatural occupants of the haunted house are getting the spiders to spin their creepy cobwebs, helping the dust to settle on the furniture, and the lights to flicker in a delightfully gloomy way. When everything is ready, they will open their doors to visitors. We dare you to be one of them. Come in, take a pew, try to relax, and let your ghost hosts take you on a ride through their fearful abode. Along cobweb-covered corridors and hilariously horrific hallways, down sinister staircases into strange cellars stacked with supernatural spooks. You'll float up into attics adorned with antiques, through grotesque Gothic gardens which echo with shrieks, into chambers which tremble with wall-to-wall screams, and through libraries with books of your nightmares and dreams. You'll be frightfully sorry your tour has to end, as out of the gloom down the steps you descend. You've just toured a mansion with strange ghostly powers, with a unique address: Haunted House, Alton Towers.